Richard Dixon is a local veteran, and he was a featured guest at LCHS for their virtual Remembrance Day ceremony. He hopes he can remind the younger people why this day is so significant.
Not only needs to know to remember, but they need to know who these men and women were of great character and Canadian soldiers that gave their life or that come back home physically or mentally injured, and their stories of who they were and why they lived and how they gave their lives.
Next week, students at the Lloydminster Public School Division don't have class, so they took time to hold a Remembrance Day ceremony. This year, because of the COVID-19 pandemic, they held this ceremony virtually to avoid the spread of the virus.
Set up with a backdrop, it will all be live streamed, and our students will be watching from their Block 3 classrooms with their teachers. Every student in the school received a poppy this morning, and we will do a candle lighting ceremony. Each classroom has candles, so each classroom will light candles sort of as part of the ceremony so that everybody feels like they're part of what's going on.
They also want people to realize that not all veterans are ones who fought in World War II, but are currently sacrificing their life for our country.
It's not just remembering or etching their name in stone as a way to pay respects. The young men and women and all Canadians need to understand why we were there, why these men and women fought, and why they gave their lives and how they gave their lives. Because their life wasn't a random act of violence or a splash of misfortune. These men and women voluntarily put themselves in harm's way to defend other people.
The school also highlighted former LCHS alumni who served in the military.
Lest we forget their service.
COVID-19 has stopped Canadian cattle shows except for Lloydminster Stockade Roundup, which continues this week. Room capacity is being monitored and masks are required in the show ring, but even with the added measures, breeders are happy to have some face-to-face competition this fall.
You have lots of competition, which is great. It's nice to have lots of your peers out showing their cattle along with you, and it helps you see how you compare to your other counterparts in the industry.
The Lloyd X spent months preparing for the Stockade Roundup, noting the importance of bringing producers together.
That's how this whole industry is built. So on relationships and making connections. So we've worked really hard to allow for that to still happen as safe as possible. So masks are required in the show ring area, and so yeah, our team is working hard to keep everyone safe and still have some fun.
The roundup will be used as a blueprint by the X as they continue to adapt to COVID restrictions and try to host more events.
We're really excited for an awesome week of shows and yeah, just having some activity because that's what this place was built on and will continue to be built on as time goes on. So yeah, COVID's not going away, and so we're just learning to manage and have new strategies in place so we can continue to have events here and keep everyone safe while doing it.
This year's Stockade Roundup finishes Saturday and is the first large event the X has hosted since the pandemic began. Eric Bay, Primetime Local News.